Forgiveness, the key to freedom. Thank you for joining me today. Happy Friday. It is the January 17th. Did I say that funny? Yes, I did. January 17, 2025. Thank you for joining our morning show every Monday and every Friday at 9:30 Eastern Time. So welcome. We're trying something new. We're on Facebook as well. So wherever you're joining, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, thank you for joining the morning show. And of course, we always get started with a dad joke. I hope that Jimmy somewhere there could hear me. Are you guys ready for the dad joke? Which is funny. Why can't we call it an uncle joke? Why the dad, right? I guess all dads are corny into a child's eyes. Okay. So why do dads take an extra pair of socks when they play golf? Anybody? In case he gets a hole in one. Thank you, Jimmy. Shout out to Marshall. Someone a couple we met for our first time on Wednesday. He loves golf and we live right in front of a golf course. And we haven't tried it, but we are certainly definitely interested in trying that out. For me, I want to drive the little golf carts. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments if you are interested in playing golf. Come play with us if you're in the Orlando area. Or if you do play golf, give us some tips. Let us know in a comment. All right, so let's get started because of course, we want to share a life in a pup's life, and I'm gonna talk about it after Miss Charmaine plays this clip. So cute. I think like once it starts zooming in, it is the most adorable little puppy. Look at the way he's sitting, guys. Look at the way he's sitting. Or she. One of the things. Oh, look at the tail. All right. One of the reasons I love this, guys, we were talking, shout out to Darlene and Ivan. They came to have dinner with us last night. And I said, you know what? We haven't really traveled as much because we're really codependent with our dog. And I really wish I could put a movie so our dog could just watch movies when we're out. But she's really, really feisty and like, no, don't leave. And then when we get home, we get in trouble. She likes to talk to us. Anybody have a dog that likes to talk to you? Anyway, I want that kind of dog that we could just leave watching a movie and just go out in a merry way. Hey, if you're a dog expert or have some good tips for us, let us know in the comments below. Sorry, squirrel moment. All right, let's get going here. So, of course, we love our weatherman. And before he comes in, I just want to again let everybody know and California, our prayers are with you. Same thing with North Carolina, guys. Things are out there. And last week I shared about our preparedness. That's in our YouTube channel. Let's be prepared to decrease the panic. Is panic gonna happen? Absolutely. We're humans, we get scared. But when we are prepared, it's much better. But let's hear from the weatherman, Jimmy Z.
Hey guys, what's up? Weatherman here. You guys can hear me okay? It is a beautiful day in Orlando. It it's in the 50s. I was outside. I was with my dog. It's great. If you are in Orlando, please get outside and enjoy the weather. I don't even think I needed the sweater. I was kind of just wearing it because I was, I guess, being extra. Because in Florida, if it dips below 60 degrees, we all think we're going to die because we can't handle the cold anymore, no matter where we're from originally. I'm busy here making breakfast. Hope you guys are enjoying the morning show, and I'll see you guys on the other side of this segment.
Thank you, Weatherman from Orlando.
I try.
Hey, listen, what are you making for breakfast?
I'm gonna make some bacon and eggs.
Woo! Love me some bacon and eggs. I love it. All right. Thank you, Zito. We appreciate you. Let us know what's the weather in your neck of the woods. Where are you joining from? Let us know in the comments. We always love the interaction. So let us know what is the weather for you and what's cooking. What is cooking in your neighborhood? Because I know it's pretty cold. It feels Jimmy said this the other day. 50 hits very different here in Florida. 50 when I was in New York, it was like sweater weather. Okay, it was sweater weather in New York at 50. Here, I feel like this need to wear a jacket. So you let me know if you're in Florida and you're from the north. Let me know if it does hit different because I feel like it does. All right, let's get going right into, today I don't personally know of any birthdays. But if it's your birthday out there, the YSuperstars team, which includes little Poppy, wish you a happy birthday. We don't know. We don't know each other. Let us know who you are. I'm Patty Zito. That's Jimmy. And that's Poppy Zito. And we run our morning show Mondays and Friday. And if you are liking our show so far, please like, share, consider sharing, consider subscribing, hitting that bell button. And of course, if you want to support our show, there are plenty of ways of doing that. And one way is by getting yourself some swag. We got cups, we got little stickers you can put on your water bottle, or we have hats and t-shirts. Yeah, we love that. So we got some swag from a morning show. We got the new color Mr. Yeah. Okay. And I am definitely gonna order this today. I keep saying the hat for Jimmy, and I'm gonna get me this shirt. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about getting that going. All right. So we are getting right to what in our topic of today, because this whole month we are living the Jubilee. And part of that is, our topic for today is forgiveness. And it's going to be absolutely very, what I believe, I feel like sometimes we put so much attention on forgiveness instead of, maybe digging in on why it's so hard, or what could lead to unforgiveness. And I'm just going to share my stories, or the way I not deal with it, but the what I choose to actually focus on. So let's go to our first slide, Miss Charmaine, which is, understanding that is personal. I think we have it so backwards in our society, where we feel this need of talking to the person, and I've been so guilty on taking the Bible, just chopping certain verses and thinking that like, instead of looking at the overall um text, or just life, or just uh the meaning of things, and we just chop it and create our own. And so I've been guilty of saying you got to go take it to that person first, and then other people. And I really said that more because I used to be part of a culture that sometimes will forget to talk to a person, and then you start talking to somebody else, and that to me is called gossip. And it was disguised as seeking advice. And so I was very like, hey guys, we're not seeking advice, we're gossiping and we're venting, so we got to take it to that person. And it's because, and I kept like referencing to Matthew 18, and again, guilty for using a scripture like that. And what I'm finding out, what I have experienced or done for myself for the past, I will say, since 2019, right? It's a good 6 years of really understanding that this is a personal freedom. This is a personal way of you and understanding why, about your feelings, about your emotions, instead of like, pushing it down. It's really expressing them. It's really understanding what you're feeling and what you're feeling a certain way before. Oh, that was a good transition, Mr. Main. Before we go to that person. Have you noticed that there are times that you're like, oh, I need to go talk to somebody, and then you're like chit chatting, talking about other things, and you're like nervous and you don't know what to say. And it's because you don't know how you feel or how you felt about the situation. And you're just like, blah, 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 blah. You're either talking, or you're avoiding it completely. And so what I've been finding out, it's like this personal freedom comes between my personal time with God in prayer or in journaling. If you follow this morning show for a while, it's what we talk about, right? There's power of that pen to paper. There's power when we take out our journals, when we take out our favorite pens, when we take it away from here to here, and we're able to express and not live in your emotion. We're not talking about getting stuck, but it's putting it down instead of that emotion. Because when we keep it in our head, we walk around like this with that story in our face, and like we think like, like that story is owning you. When we write it down, what are we doing? We're putting that story a little further away where you have a different perspective. It's kind of like, like when you put on your glasses, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm seeing this a little bit different, right? You're able to give yourself space. And that, I believe that's a space that God, when we're in prayer, when we're journaling, all my journalings are me hashing it out, battling that with God. Like that, it's where I find 9 out of 10, or maybe 10 out of 10, that the unforgiveness or the upsetness really comes from like something that's bothering me. It's like it's a personal thing. And when you're able to put that in a piece of paper, that's freedom. It's freedom of letting go of whatever the emotion is. Now, I've also been in the other side, in a different community, where we're so used to doing that we never even approach a human. um and because we don't want to be vulnerable. And so there's like this fine balance that I want to start living my life where, it's not, I'm not, I for sure know that I'm a hot mess if I take it to that person without acknowledging my feelings. I find it so much better when I'm able to sit in my pen to paper, my time with God, express that. I get to validate my feelings. So when I do talk to my husband, because it's usually my husband, right, or my mom, or someone who's close to you, by the time you do get there, you don't go there expecting someone else to validate your feelings, because you already got to do that on a piece of paper or in your prayer, in your walk, whatever. Maybe you pray, maybe you drive, whatever in your prayer is. Um, and when you're able to just feel that, express that, let it go. Let it go. Where's my Frozen people? My niece, when she was little, she loved that movie. I think she still loves it. Who doesn't love that movie? I love it. So that to me, this is where personal freedom comes from. Because if you're able to kind of like discern, figure out, acknowledge, validate the feelings, you get to go into the layers of why. And I believe that's what I mentioned on Monday. Like, ask yourself why. Wait, does a thumb up give a thumb up already? This is so cool. I'm learning. Sorry, I'm looking at the camera, but then I'm looking at other thing. But yeah, let's bring that up again, Miss Tremaine, right? So forgiveness for personal freedom. And then because when we approach relationships, we're not saying we're perfect. It's just like we're more at peace. There's less baggage, there's less intensity when we do go and approach and have meaningful conversations. So let's go to the next slide, because this is for me where like the two different worlds or two different communities I've been part of sort of come together. And to me, these steps, number one, it's acknowledging, validating your thoughts in your time with God, in your time with um truly on just giving yourself the freedom to feel, to let go, and to really dig in on the why. I've mentioned this so many times in the morning show, right? A lot of our anger, because they call me Fosferito in my family, I could easily get angry with those who are really close to me. Like I could light up in fire really, really fast. And what I realized that is under that anger for me personally is sadness. Or if I'm letting my ego really get in the way, it could be shame, right? Or embarrassment. But really, for me, 9 out of 10, it's sadness, and it's really sadness against, not against, but with myself. And if we really think about it, right, when we're in rage with somebody else, it's really something personal. So step for me into this new journey is having this great balance of writing things down, validating my own feelings, and then once I'm clear, it's being vulnerable with that person that I love. It's like, you know what? I'm coming from a better understanding of what I felt. And that's when I really think it's okay to share, right? How much easier is can it be for a relationship? Let's take two scenarios. You made me feel angry versus I felt sad that I still haven't done XYZ, and when you mention it, it got me upset, but I'm beating myself up for not being able to change XYZ. Like, which conversation or which starter of a conversation will be a smooth um sailing, not smooth sailing, but a more comfortable, more open, more vulnerable sit down. I say the one when you're more clear about what you're feeling. And i I see so many people struggle with forgiveness and like jealousy and things that I believe society brings a lot of attention to. And forget about those labels. Forget about, oh, you're being bitter. Forget about all these things that people put on you. But pay attention. That's what I will say. Let's start to pay attention of what we're feeling when we have that first reaction. So if you're like me and your first reaction is anger, before we go and vent that out to somebody else or think it's their fault, let's start asking ourselves some questions, right? Same thing about other things. Like I think that on Wednesday, I personally use the word trigger. I actually have a problem when I use that word because it puts me in a victim mentality. And I used it and I was like, why did I use that word, and instead of asking myself, okay, why when I listen to certain kind of music, why do I get so angry? Like what's that? And so in the conversation, I was able to realize, okay, no, it's really what the words are saying. And to me personally, I feel like some of these songs can put us all as victims, rather than victors, and rather than co-creators with God. So I know that was very vague example right there, but I hope that you catch my drill, because that's the journey. If we could pull that slide, Miss Tremaine, that I want to, excuse me, that I want to step into, you know, steps to begin. Let's start to release that emotion on a piece of paper between you and God. And then ask yourself why. So why do I feel like that? Or why is that? And dig in to the real meaning. And if you must, you could talk to the person. So many people walk around guilty because there's quote unquote unforgiveness, and then let's say that person passes away, and people have like this guilt. And truth of the matter is that forgiveness is a personal freedom. So my friend, write that down. If that person is no longer here, or maybe not as in pass away, but maybe they're in a different country, or the relationship that they've told you that relationship is over, we have this opportunity for this personal freedom, for this personal understanding and validating your feelings. And we live in a world that is upside down, that we think that it's an outer, it's a thing that somebody has to forgive you for you to forgive yourself. And let's begin a new journey of releasing. And I use the word release. It's release by putting in a piece of paper, but it's also validating that emotion that comes up for you, and then understanding where it comes from. And then there's other steps. If you want to know more, you can always check out my website. This is the kind of coaching that I do. um However, for our morning show, I'm just trying to like simplify things, or really I'm seeking people who are watching the show, who are sick and tired of the narrative and the institutions, and for to just seeing if you have woken up to how everything is backwards. Like, for example, forgiveness. If you believe that that needs to involve somebody else for them to validate you, or for you to release and have this freedom, it is absolutely whack. You just go back and experience certain things, right? Now there is connection when you personally have that clarity. And if you're in an intimate relationship, somebody wants to understand you better, I think those are beautiful conversations. But do you need that? And if we're saying that, hey, our relationship with God comes first, then take your feelings to God. Let that be the validation of what you're thinking, feeling, and make decisions. I think a lot of people are walking around not knowing how to make decisions. And I believe, it's my personal belief, that is because we're not thinking and we're not feeling. And so it's making us stuck, it's making us confused, it makes us like, oh my gosh, which way do I go? If that's you, try this exercise, let us know. And of course, we have a challenge of the week or weekend for you guys, because I think information is great. When information is processed and then action is taken Oh man, it is absolutely different when that hits. All right, so let's go. Here, are you guys ready? I say write this down. So here it is. Okay. So today I get to release, and I left it blank because, when I do the show, I do have like a point in mind, but for you, maybe something else I said earlier was your, hey, I'm going to try that. I wanted to say today I get to release my anger. And I don't mean to like woosah, all this nonsense, right? It's the one that I was talking about. Like that anger in your face by putting in a piece of paper, you know? I feel angry with so and so. Then ask yourself why. Why? What happened? You're writing it down. Okay. And then when you're writing that down, 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be about how it made you feel. Right. And it's going to go beyond that anger. So once you get to that emotion, so why did that make me sad? Well, because that's my challenge is releasing your strongest emotion on a piece of paper and digging in on why. That's simple. I honestly, I know I put in my website or my services as a coach, but I consider myself, or I'm transitioning myself to be called a guide. I'm just guiding people through questions, guiding people through methods. And I use the 4-step method from my coach, from my mentor, Mark England, that completely has changed um, my the way I see freedom versus having a victim mentality. So, with that being said, or it could be you release something else. But before we go and release people, relationships, things, can we release that emotion, that feeling, whatever that is? Because again, if you're just tuning in, I think society wants to just throw labels at us, such as you're bitter, you're unforgiving, and and the truth of the matter is, I, are those people with you? Do they understand you? Nobody understands you but you the most and the best. That's why I'm transitioning myself of being called a guide or coach. Like, it's what we call it in my website. If you go and check it out, it's that innate intelligence. We have that. Our body also, our body knows what our nutrients our body needs. You know, we were fearfully and wonderfully made. If we want to take that seriously, it's that true. And we gotta just pay attention. We gotta like tune in, you know, like I said earlier, tune in with what you're receiving, what you're feeling, and putting it down so you can have a better perspective. I hope that today, and we're not going to do action taker, Mr. Man. We're going to leave it right here. I hope that if this video resonates with you, that you're giving it a like, that you're sharing. And I do want Mr. Main to play a video though. If you do feel you're like, well, Patty, not that one, Mr. Main. Let's go to the our free online audio course, because I want to talk about that, because a lot of times people are like, well, I have no time, no energy to be writing down anything. And if you feel that way, and you feel like even 15 minutes a day, it's impossible, I want to invite you to a course. It's a free audio course, right? It's called Time and Energy for What Matters the Most, 15 minutes at a time. Take 15 minutes, and all I'm doing in this audio training is guiding you through questions so you could jot them down. And I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through it so you can see what the frustrations are, so you can see where you really want, and then how to take that first step, right? So if you want a longer process besides the morning show and what I just said today, if you want to really dig in and understand, and if your obstacle, I know I could be insensitive telling some people your excuse, but if your obstacle, if like, I understand that there are mamas out there are single mamas out there who are commuting in buses and trains, who possibly have two jobs. Man, it would be so insensitive for me to say an excuse. You actually do have an obstacle on your time in there. If that's you, I'm talking to you, right? Like, can you give yourself, invest in yourself 15 minutes? There's no charge. This is a free online guide audio training for you to get started on the process. And the hope, or my hope prayer from this audio training, it's to continue that habit of writing things down with only 15 minutes a day. And that's what I have for you, Ms. Tremaine. Let's play that audio training. Imagine leading a life where you have enough time to do what matters most and the energy to nurture your spark. The outcome of this mini course is to end procrastination, frustration, and feeling stuck. In this mini course, you get to identify what is preventing you from time and energy. You get to crystallize your vision for what matters the most, and you get to activate your first step into the lifestyle you want. Clarity comes before focus. Get your audio mini course now. Grab your headset, your favorite drink, and start today. Yes, my beautiful soul. And when I talk about spark, yeah, you know what that is. It's that very thing that when you're doing this, that you're feeling the most energized, you feel complete, that's your mission, that's your contribution. If you're watching this, if you even stay to the end of this video, I'm talking to you. You're the one who understands, who knows that you have something to give to this world. That's through your spark, that's through those strengths, those gifts that were just given uniquely to you. And let's get out there and share that with the rest of the world. Ms. Charmaine, thank you so much for joining me today as well. And for those who watch the replay or come in and out, we're here every Monday and Friday. And yes, I had said it was holiday on Monday, but I'm going to run a morning show. We're going to do it. So we will see you on Martin Luther King Day this coming Monday. Thank you for joining. We will see you next week. Salut. I'm not sure if Miss Charmaine is playing my music or any, but okay. Yeah, you have the fast one. We have Miss Charmaine's favorite one. We'll see you guys on Monday. Woo!